Another match.
We are live. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the finale of YouTube Survivor Season 7 All Stars. I am here with the Yeehaw Tribe and the Jury. Say hi, guys.
What up,
Yeehaw,
what up?
bitches.
Where did Rob
Thank you,
go?
Julian.
Okay, so I don't know where Rob went.
I just messaged him. I don't want him to not be on.
Okay, well, anyways, so, yeah, so Julian, since you're a part of the final two and you're here, how does it feel to be in the final two of a 30-person All-Stars game?
Oh, you know.
Robert's here. How does it feel? It feels pretty good. Me and Rob, like, we thought it could happen potentially like around final 12 or 11, but like we never thought when we started the 30-person cast that we would be the last two. That was our plan, but we didn't think it was gonna happen.
And Rob, I'll ask the same to you. How does it feel to be in the final two of a 30-person All-Star season?
Yay, Rob.
You're on mute.
He
Well,
laughed.
Okay, well,
That's how he feels about it.
he truly is speechless.
I see what you did there.
So,
He said speechless.
we'll see what's up with him. But this episode, or this tribal council, I should say, final tribal council is going to involve the jurors asking questions to the finalists. I don't really have too much to say. Well, Rob's back. Maybe he can answer the question.
Can you
now.
guys hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Jesus, what the hell?
He's not
Sorry,
speechless
guys, I'm
anymore.
here.
So how does it feel to be in the final two of a 30-person All-Stars game, Rob?
I'm excited, man. It's been a long ass journey. It's taken a long ass time. There's been a lot of crazy blindsides this season. There's been a lot of highs. There's been a lot of lows, but we're freaking here, and I'm excited to be sitting in the final two with Julian because he really was my friend going into all this, and here we are. So I'm hoping to plead my case and get something going today.
Ew.
And actually, I do have one more thing to ask. Julian, you admitted to being the one person who kicked Ben from the call and messed up the wall sit challenge.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is going to have an effect on the votes? Asides, I took it upon myself to remove one jury vote from you, but I'm talking about with the jurors themselves.
I'm glad you asked, actually. I just kind of feel like, regardless of what the two people who were in the final two wanted to say, you could not see either of their legs. Both one of them, or most likely both of them, were cheating. So I cheated in a challenge where people were cheating, and people on production were messaging Alex, telling him to change it, but nothing happened. I wanted it to get changed, and my life was potentially on the line. So I was like, let me change this shit up. So I did it. If y'all want to get mad at me for cheating in that challenge, cool. If not,
Okay, Julian, it doesn't matter if they cheated. You cheated. And
I did, and I admitted to it.
So you can't blame it on other people.
I'm not blaming it on other people. But I will say the reason why I cheated.
Blamed it on the others.
Okay, and the reason why I cheated was because I felt the competition was unfair. I had talked about it in the chat. A lot of the people, Jabbar even said he was going to message Alex about it, and nothing changed. So if I were to go on that round,
bring it up to Alex at that.
He wasn't there, but
why don't you message Alex or whoever was running it?
I messaged in the competition chat. You weren't in it, boo.
No, I wasn't. You're right.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
But that doesn't justify cheating. Just saying.
Okay, well maybe you should have. They should have scheduled a competition that where it wasn't so easy to cheat in. Maybe that was.
Maybe you should have just cheated.
Okay, well I did. So if that's what people are gonna vote based off of, then cool. But just know that the two people in the final two who were competing for safety for their team were both cheating as well. So.
Still not right.
And James R., you were one of those two people in that competition. Were you cheating?
Yeah.
We'll see what he says. He has to type everything because he's.
You could look at the fucking. You could look at the fucking thing. You could just see that neither of those people were moving. I was like I had stuff that was helping me, but I wasn't freaking staying still, just chilling. Like, cool. Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't think that either of the two contestants were cheating.
Everyone else in production.
So I didn't call it.
So.
They didn't come to me
Jabbar thought he
about it.
did.
So
He's just trying by himself.
Jabbar might have, but no one else did. I don't remember if Jabbar did or not. It's been a while. Anyways, so now we're gonna get to the jurors asking questions.
I got one.
Well, hold up.
No,
I do have one from Anastasia, who is not here, so I'm gonna get that out of the way so you don't have to hear my voice any longer.
Yeah.
So Anastasia, this is for Julian. He asked, when did you and Rob make up? Because every time in my messages when I brought up to you the fact that Rob should go, you were on board, and you kept with the story of how he betrayed you when y'all played before. So when did y'all make up, and why bring him to the final two over Yoshi?
We made up the day one. I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with him for the whole time, but after we talked more and more, I realized I'm going to stick with him. And the whole time, me saying that I was going to vote off Rob, or me saying that he backstabbed me, was all strategy. We planned it out in our thing. I was telling that to people so they would feel comfortable with taking me and Rob together to the further on in the game, which I think ultimately helped us, because I didn't want people to know that me and Rob were literally never going to vote against each other. Like, even though some people may say they knew, I was really selling it to them that fuck Rob, he screwed me over my first season, I'm going to screw him over this season, which I'm not.
I respect that.
All right, so now we are going to get into the jurors asking questions.
Wait, am I allowed to respond to that too? I know it wasn't directed at me, but I have something to say about that.
Sure, you're a finalist.
So
You can say whatever you want.
the same way Julian was going around telling people that, you know, he was willing to throw me under the bus, I was doing the exact same thing about him too. I was just, it wasn't so, let's get Julian out or anything like that. But anytime anybody presented his name, I made it seem like, okay, it was an option for me, but really it never was. And then the other thing is, I really, in the beginning of the game, came out of the gates telling people, I was like, because one, I knew I wanted to play the game for redemption and to prove to Julian, like, I am loyal. I'm sorry for what I did. But out of the gate, I started telling people immediately, like, I don't know if he's going to trust me. I feel like he doesn't like me. So I was spitting the same game too. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, we both had planned it out like really early on that we're going to tell people that we don't like each other, and that like we weren't going to vote each other off right now, but because we knew we'd vote with each other, but we'd just go further on. So it was like planned like day one, day two type shit.
All right. So now I'm going to go just left to right from my screen with the jurors. You each get to ask one question. It can either be directed at one of the two people, or it can be directed at both. But each, again, if it's directed at Julian and Rob wants to respond, he has complete right to do so. So the furthest left of my screen is Joey. So Joey, you can ask the first question.
Can I also say a few comments as well, Alex?
What do you mean?
Can I say a few comments to the jurors?
Oh, Lord. This is going to be a mistake, but yes.
Okay, so Rob, how are you today?
I'm doing great, man. I passed my test today, so I'm really happy. Thanks for asking.
I like that. So as far as your game, I know we never really talked much, but I really do like you. You're an awesome player. You have great strategy. I respect that you and Julian chose to go to the final two together, and I'm glad y'all stuck to it. Thank you. I want to say you're awesome. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Julian. My Julian. How are you?
I am great, my showman.
Don't say that. Okay. Number one, for getting to the comments, you're a lying motherfucker. You have a hairdo like an owl.
I do.
You do. Little ponytail. And you are nothing more than a snakefish. That's all you are is a snakefish. 100% snakefish. You slither like a snake and you swim like a fish.
I showed him Trinity, Julian.
That's your real name. Okay?
Yeah, I figured that out.
Question to you. Why you gotta be a bitch?
Why do I have to be a bitch? Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it literally. I literally was planning in my, like, me and Rob discussed a lot of strategy, and a lot of the things that I was saying was to kind of increase my bad cop persona, and I was like kind of liking the fact that I could be like kind of open and out there in the villain, and people kind of wanted to use me as a shield in my alliance, and I told them I'm gonna let you guys let me take the heat for y'all. They're gonna vote for me every time. Julian W is gonna vote for me every time, which ended up changing because I worked with him. But I was like, you guys can let me take the heat, and I'll be the bitch. I'll tell people this, and that, just to confuse the fuck out of them, make them mad at me, and that because I wanted to make myself of value to the people. Whereas because before the merge, I was such a huge threat. I was associated with the many premates that I was not part of, like the what is it called, the hot cows and season 6 and all that stuff. So I was like, I got to make myself useful somehow. So I think that you can't, like, if you're too nice to every single person, people are going to notice that. James R was the biggest threat by the final 7 because he was just so freaking nice to everyone. You can't be nice to everyone. People are not going to want to take you to the end if you're a saint.
True. I respect.
Can I expand on that, Joey?
Yes,
do you mind?
Please.
Okay.
I
So
like I don't like Julian, so please stop him from talking.
thanks, man. So I want to bring up the fact that Julian's mentioning the bad cop thing, and yesterday I took a lot of shit for bringing up me playing the good cop part of things. But the reality is, I don't mean that as I'm a holy saint, I'm the perfect person or anything like that. But I realized that if the two of us were going to work together, we couldn't have similar gameplays. So while he was playing the bitch and he took that role, that was his choice. And that's why people kept him around. I decided to play the polar opposite and play somebody who was there to console people and talk to people after the blindsides happened and say, hey, we're still together, though. Nothing bad is happening here. So that was kind of what I meant when I said I was playing the good cop role. It wasn't necessarily that I thought what I was doing was good or that it made me a good person, what I was doing. I just took a polar opposite role of what he did, and I was playing a little bit more subtle.
Well, and also to bounce back off of that, sorry.
I don't want to hear your bullshit anymore, but keep going.
I want to talk. Okay. Even though I do say I really wanted to be an animated person out there and people to be scared of me, I was really working on my socialness behind the scenes too, which I don't think people were expecting because I was so mean. I had to form connections on my side that I think people didn't even on your side. Chris and I were really close at one point. Me and James R were really close. And so I was forming connections under the radar where people knew the more quiet people were obviously talking, but people thought I was not ever talk to people on the other side. But I was willing to shift and take turns, but people just wouldn't expect it from me because I'd been so out there for the pre-merge and the beginning of the post-merge. So I think that kind of helped me because people didn't expect me to change my path when I was been so vocal on it.
Can I pause you right there for a second? Rob, can you keep talking because all I can hear is lies.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually wanted to say something about that because it's kind of it's not funny, it's weird. I mean, look at the gameplay that we had, but the same people Julian was talking to, he had his gameplay, I had mine. We were polar opposites, but we were literally talking to and managing the same people. So I just want to get that out there because I know a lot of people didn't see that because I wasn't as vocal as him, but I was there too, managing.
Yeah, no, I always say I think me and Rob planned it out kind of perfectly that he was going to talk to these people, I was going to talk to these people, and we were going to compare notes. So really, you can't say that one person did it better than the other or whatever because we both really near the end both had our connections and we were getting all the information from all sides. So obviously, really a lot of credit to Rob because I couldn't have done it without him being able to talk to the people that I didn't spend the time to talk to, and probably couldn't have done it without me connecting with people that I did because we got to use our time differently.
You see, I want to believe you, but all I'm hearing is lies. All I hear from you is lies. So
okay.
I'm gonna let Alex send it to the next juror. But one last thing. Love you, Rob. Fuck you, Julian. You're a bitch and that's snakefish.
Love you too, Joey. Thank you.
You're welcome. You got my vote, by the way.
All right. So James D, you are up next on the screen. So go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, damn. I'm all the way at the end on my screen. I wasn't ready. All right. All right. So I hear all this talk about good cop, bad cop, and what a great job y'all did as a solid unit pretty much from really early on. I want to know what y'all's plan B was in case the other of your half didn't make merge.
So my plan B was to rely on the relationships that I was building with people. Like I said, we both had the similar end game in terms of who we wanted to go to the end with, which was each other. But in terms of how we were playing, he was up here acting crazy, and I was playing it low key behind the scene. And my relationships that I had with people, one thing people need to understand is that me and Julian were not talking on a constant basis. We would talk after tribal and maybe once in between, but that was it. A lot of my time was spent building personal relationships with other players to advance myself in the game. That way, in case something were to happen where he did get taken out, I had a backup plan. But also, the main goal was to make sure those people got us to where we needed to be.
Okay, I'll answer. I don't know if you're gonna want to believe me, James D, but
I
I
wouldn't
have
recommend it.
I have kind of had like a similar thing, except in the beginning, I literally did. I couldn't find a group that would want to take me. I felt only good with Rob, and I didn't feel good with you. I'm not gonna lie, because I just had a preconceived notion just from one of the first calls we went on. I just thought you got the idol for some reason. I asked you, and I got it wrong. That was wrong of me. But when we got into the other team, I tried to work with you, and then you told me that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to re-scramble. And I tried to work with Tim and Ty, and they fucked me over. So I'm like, I have to re-scramble. And then like the first couple of people I worked with in the pre-merge, like I could not get like a solid footing with. I didn't feel good. Like I go off my vibes and I couldn't go off it. But then when I got into that second swap team, literally any single person from the alliance that I like was in, because I felt really good with Alan and Vlad. All of those people I could have worked with too, but Rob just was like the better option. So, but if he did go home for some reason, I could have worked with anyone from my like group: Alan, Vlad, Dalton, not Dalton, Alan, Vlad, or James R. Or people I was really trying to work hard with. So I think those are my plan Bs. But honestly, I can honestly say that I don't know if it would have worked out as well if I didn't have Rob, because no one was really giving me a chance in the beginning of the game.
They shouldn't have.
Thank you, Julian.
Yeah, y'all did a great job. I wish I could see y'all
All
both.
right, so the next person on my screen. All right, so the next juror on my screen is James R, which means we're going to have to wait 30 minutes for him to type something up. Thank you for reminding me I have to read because you cannot talk.
Can I say a few
That
more
was
comments
something that
on the
wasn't
side?
obvious.
I've got a bunch more stuff I want to say to Julian. I'll call him a bitch a few more times.
No, you had your turn. Step off the soapbox.
A whore?
Okay, here we go. From James R. Congrats to both. Shut up. Congrats to both on Final 2. Despite hating you for being key reasons I left, I hope you both know I love you millions and truly feel awful knowing I won't be voting one of you to win tonight. Anyway, what is the best move your opponent made in your eyes? But equally, what is the worst move your opponent made in your eyes? Good luck, both of you are amazing.
I would say Julian's best move in this game was, I would say, turning on Alan. It was not something I wanted to do, but he came up with the idea and we put it into action. It was kind of my loyalty was kind of like, as soon as he pitched that idea, I was like, okay, let's do it. And up until that point, I had pushed for Michael to go. I had, put Vlad at risk, and I kind of feel like I had the blood on my hands for that. And at that point, I felt like it was my turn to give him something to show that we were working together. And so when he came up with that idea, I thought it was unexpected, and it was a huge blindside, and it was crazy. I thought that was a big move. What was the last part of that?
The worst move.
What's my worst move?
Everything.
What's your worst move? Taking me to the final 2. Because, yeah.
Okay, is it my turn? Is it for both of us?
All right, Julian.
Rob's best move was probably forming that connection with Yoshi and like letting me know everything that was going on, because I didn't have that good of a connection with Yoshi, and so I just kind of went with it and I let him go to the final 3, which he would have taken Rob, and I would have taken Rob. His worst move though would probably be letting me kind of take the reins at the merge, because if you think about it, a lot of the things I was more vocal on, like the Allen thing, than the Dalton thing I kind of come up with too. So it was like I was kind of like, Rob obviously was beneficial for both of us, because it kind of like the things that were beneficial kind of like corresponded with both of us, because we were kind of in the same spot. But like the people that were out, that I was taking out, were closer to other people and not me. Whereas in the final 7, I had James R, I had Chris. Glow was gonna take me over Rob. Like those are 3 people. The only people who would have taken Rob over me were Yoshi. So if they're gonna turn on someone, they're gonna turn on Rob before me. So that would have been the worst move. But it didn't end up working bad for him because I stood with him. But he was in a more vulnerable position near the end of the game, whereas I wasn't. I didn't need an idol. I honestly probably wouldn't have gotten the majority of votes regardless.
All right. So the next juror on my screen is Julian W. So Julian W., whenever you are ready.
All right. So first of all, I'm going to take partial credit for that Allen vote. So let's just get right to it. So Julian, you throughout the season, we saw you as sort of like a volatile person who could go off at any moment and always spoke his mind. How much of that is real, and how much of that was put on like an act?
I'm not gonna bullshit anyone. I'm not like all. I can't fake that. You can't fake that. But a lot of it was me. Like I have the proof that I was saying to people, I'm gonna go off on these people. But part of it, like especially in the beginning with the Keaton and stuff, I was getting so frustrated because I felt like no one was giving me a chance. So I thought I was gonna go out in the beginning. So I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go balls to the walls and let these people know that they're fucking stupid for believing people who are lying about me because I didn't have it pre-made. And then once the merge came, a lot of it was actually not real at all. Especially the most not real thing was my beef with Julian W. I didn't like you because I thought I had heard that you were targeting me, but me going off on you was mostly just me making stuff up to have a solid enemy in the game that people would want me to use against. Like especially when. Like I honestly did tell Rob the names of the people in that hot cows thing before you or anyone else had even mentioned it because I wanted Rob to start spreading that out and letting people know that you're like starting rumors about us, which you ended up doing, which was just a coincidence. But like I literally just like made things out of my head. I wanted people to have a use for me. I needed to be useful for people because no one was finding me useful because I had so many different things on my like threat list, like season 6, hot cows, other stuff. So yeah.
Okay. So Rob, we had a conversation, I believe it was day 1, about loyalty, about changing our image, about stuff like that. So where do you stand now? How do you want to look back on the season and be remembered?
I'm super proud of the way I played this season. My first season, I wanted to play as a villain. That was my goal. That was my mission. And by the time things were done, like I never thought I would have or feel the way I did about, betraying and lying to people on an online game. And especially with what I did to Julian, which for people who don't know, I got drunk and basically got him voted out the next day, and it really blew up the game. And that weighed heavy on my heart. Like I'm a person who plays with my heart, and that was my strategy going into this game, was to just not be a villain this time. I mean, I can still lie, I can deceive. That's part of the game. I don't like it, but I know how to do it, and that's what I wanted to do to advance myself to the end with Julian. And the biggest thing I can take away is that I made a commitment on day 1 when I saw that he was on my tribe to make it to the end with him, to make up for what I had done to him the last season. And it was just the fact that we're sitting here, like, I can't be disappointed in that. And I feel like the people that I did betray, the one thing I want people to know is that even though I did betray you, when I got to know you and I let you into my life and I told you about me, and when I listened about you, that was all real and that was all genuine. And so, the fact that I'm like, win or lose, whatever happens, I accomplished my mission, goal completed. And at the end of the day, I don't have that heavy like regret and burden that I did from last season. So I'm proud of it.
All right. So the next person to ask a question is Yoshi, and it will be the final question, actually.
Yeah, I said the best for last. Okay, what's up, you guys? What's up? What's popping? But anyways, my question is to Rob, but Julian, you can chime in if you want to. I want to know if Julian did not make that alliance with Julian W, or whatever, do you think that you'll be able to make the big moves that you made without him making that? without them making that.
I definitely would
alliance.
have been able to. At that point in the game, like I said, I had realized that I had pushed for a lot of people to go. I wasn't really letting him be heard. And part of, us working together was you got to give a little and you got to get a little. You got to find that balance. And so the whole Allen situation, I let him have that. The whole Julian W situation, I let him have that. I don't think, had it not have happened, who knows what would have happened. But I'm confident in the relationships that I built with the people who were left in the game at that point. I think I would have been okay.
So you let him have it, is what you said.
Can I chime in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think anyone let
Yeah.
me have it. I think, Yoshi, you will remember that I was on a call with both of you, and you guys were both against the move to work with Julian W., and I was pushing for it. I said, guys, you need to trust me on this. I pushed it. They were not trusting me. This was my move. I had to go off my gut, no one else's gut. If we went off of Rob's gut, we would have stuck with the same people that we had stuck with. I made the move to join Julian W's side. So, therefore, no one let me have the move. I had to convince her for it.
I'm not taking away from the fact that it was your move. Those were your moves. But at the same time, like, I'm a strong-willed person, and if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have done it. But because I wanted to work with you, we did it. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if I
But was it your
didn't
move
want
or
to
was
work
it
with you, I
Julian
would have shut it down.
move?
It was his idea, but,
It
everything
was my idea, and Yoshi
that went into it, it was
Yoshi
both of us,
will remember that I was on call with both of y'all, and I had to really pitch it to both of you guys. You had to remember, you guys were both saying you guys didn't know, you weren't sure, and I said no. Like, I'm telling you, the pieces are together in my head. You guys need to trust me on this one. If we don't take Alan out, we're still gonna be in the same position in our alliance where people are leaking stuff and people are getting idled out of our team without us knowing. Like, it was definitely something that I had to push for, and I just put my foot on the ground and I was like, y'all, like, trust me on this one.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, if Vlad's gonna ask a question, I'm literally gonna be like 2 seconds and
All
just
right.
quick to get something, and then ask the question to Rob first, and then I'll go after.
Well, Vlad,
No, I don't have any questions.
Oh, do we get final speech?
Vlad.
Vlad, I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to give you the floor, Vlad. I was going to give Vlad the floor, but if he refuses to take the floor, then I'm going to ask each finalist to give. Sorry, I'm flexing my dark chocolate Hershey bar. I'm going to ask each finalist to send out one closing statement. I'm going to go get the votes, and I just upped the awards to 20 from 18. So we'll get into awards after this. We'll get into thoughts about the season after this. So make sure you guys stay tuned afterwards for some fun stuff. So we will start with, we'll go left to right again. So Julian, you're further left, so we'll go with you, then Rob.
Okay, well, I was gonna go to my car real quick, but whatever, I'll wait a little. But my last speech is like, I'm just, first of all, I want to say I'm just really grateful to go to the end with Rob, even though he said it's my worst move. I told him from the beginning that his mistake last season was taking me out because I was the only one who would take him to the end, and I told him I would never do that, and I still didn't do it this season, even though maybe I don't think that Yoshi would have beat me, but in a bitter jury scenario, he could have, and I would have just been more disappointed because I feel like me and Rob really did have the strings in the season, not trying to be mean, like we really did pull a lot of the moves together. So I wanted to make sure the winner was good because I was not happy with the winner of my season, and if that meant that I lost, then that's fine. But I took Rob also because I think I did play the best game. Yes, I was mean. Yes, I was a bitch. Yes, I lied. But I really got to do what I wanted to do every point of the game. And the thing is, like, the one thing that kind of separates me from Rob a little in the sense of like gameplay is I had to do a tribal without him, my first tribal, where I was told I'm gonna go home unanimously. So I had to do something by myself, change it up with these people that I had no idea if I could trust or not. I used my abrasive personality to scare people. I would, like, when someone told me that Keaton was saying my name, I went right to Keaton and I was like, girl, you're saying my name. And then when Keaton said that James D said that, I went to James D because I wanted them to get scared that they were throwing each other under the bus, and then vote the other person off, because if they're hearing that someone's telling me the plan, and in their heads they're going to know that a different plan is happening. So I think that's what kind of happened the first vote. And then once the merge came, I kind of got my pieces together, even though the first round was really scary with Joey having the idol. I could have gone home at 15. After that, I really had no bumps in the road. I was able to formed the solid connections that I did with people that people wouldn't expect, and I was able to kind of put myself in a great position at Final 10 with an idol that I would not even have to need, because these people were not going to vote me off because I was a lot of their number ones by the time they went home. So I think I was in a great position. I won 5 immunities. I never won immunity tribal or individual in my original season. I won 5 on my own this season and a bunch of pre-merge. I kind of changed my entire game this season. I was a bitch, but I was a bitch I was the head bitch in charge. I was Julian motherfucking you, and Julian motherfucking you gets what Julian motherfucking you wants. And even if I win, Rob is a deserving winner, and he's played a great game, and I'm glad to have played next to him. I just think I played a little bit more aggressively and a little bit more like to the point where I got what I wanted all the time. So that's why I think I should win. But if not, I'm okay with it. I've had a lot of fun. It's just a game, and yeah.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, I want to start off by saying I am super proud of the way that I played the game this season, and I'm super happy to be sitting here with Julian because, again, that was my goal when I saw he was on my tribe to make it here to the end with him, and we did. So, but what I want to accomplish with this closing statement is just to kind of give some people some insight. If the final word, like whether it's the viewers, whether it's whoever's watching this, I want it to be known how I played this game, because I know a lot of my stuff wasn't seen. I wasn't as vocal as Julian. I wasn't fighting with people, but that's because I didn't need to. Part of our alliance was, finding a balance between, one person was doing this and one person was doing that, and people did not see us as we were together. So that was a huge, crucial part of us working together. I could have been an attention whore. I could have been like, okay, like you've seen that in season 6. I could have done it, but I knew that's not what was going to help us advance in the game. So I sat back in the beginning of the game. I played from the bottom and I was sneaky. I got information from people. We collaborated. The people who he had, flocked to him because of the way he was acting, we all collaborated and shared information, and that's how we were able to advance in the game. I was able to identify people who might have been targets to me early on based off of communication level. I was able to build alliances with those people who were communicating with me early on in the game. When we swapped over to the Boreal or to the Bliss tribe, I formed a relationship with Alan, and I've had my relationship with Ben. And then when things flipped again, I used that relationship to push for Michael. Alan really wanted Tyler to go that first round, but I wanted Michael, and I pushed for it, and Michael went. But part of my game was also, you want to talk about Julian being risky because he's loud and rambunctious in tribal councils, but part of my risks that I was taking, just because it wasn't that, it was giving some control to the people that I wanted to work with and letting them have a little bit of say. And that to me is risky, because you never know what they're going to do with that kind of power. But I was willing to say, okay, Michael's gone now. Alan, you want Tyler? Let's get Tyler. So we got Tyler. And then when things came together, I just kind of pinpointed who we wanted to get rid of. We always had the vote planned out 2 votes ahead. And it started with Joey, like the whole Grace situation that happened. Like, I kind of used that against Joey to push for him to leave. And then the whole Vlad thing, that was a huge move for mine, because I was ready to blindly trust Vlad once again in this game. But I said, you know what? After, he leaked my information the night before he went home, I was like, I'm here to play this for me and for Julian, and this is what needs to be done. Like, I'm willing to risk him going home, and he did, and that was my move. And then after that, Alan went, that was Julian. And then I pushed for Tim. Tim had to go because I saw him as somebody who was a huge threat. He was finding idols. And I used his communication style, like his social skills, against him. And I was able to pull off a blindside on my own Borealis alliance and go back to those people and justify what I had done by saying it was a personal move, which it was, because I'm looking out for myself. And then after that all happened, things kind of just progressed. We flipped on W. And then everything that transpired, I felt like the big reason why the 3 of us were able to make it as far as we did was my relationship with Yoshi. That wasn't Julian Yu. My relationship with Glow, like Julian Yu had his relationship just as I had mine, but my relationship with Yoshi was a very crucial part of my game, because when it got down to Final 5, when it got down to Final 4, when I was comfortable doing the same thing that Julian was doing, which was being loud and rambunctious, and people gave me a lot of shit for doing that, when that was for show, 100%. That wasn't any part of who I really am. But that kept me safe, my relationship with people, my bonds, so, and then to tie it all off, like, I'm sitting here with Julian, so I feel like I played a pretty flawless game in terms of getting to know people on a personal level to advance myself in the game. I don't feel like I upset people too much, and if I did, like I said, I just want them to understand that it was nothing mean-spirited, nothing mean-hearted. We all know what we signed up for here, and whoever wins, I'm happy either way, because that was my goal, to get here with him in after all. So, and here we are. So thank you.
Of all those risks that you said, the only risk that I saw that was actually a big risk was trusting Julian. I'm surprised he let you this far. Just saying.
Even that in itself can be seen as a risk. Like, I had no idea whether or not he was going to be pissed at me after what happened last season. So
And he's lied to everybody else. I don't know how he hasn't lied to you. So.
Because I stayed true to one person, and then that one person till the end. I don't know why you're mad at me when you voted for me.
Okay. So, I do already have the votes, but I will give you guys 2 minutes. Shout outs, call people out. Final time for you guys this season to do any of that stuff.
Fuck you, I'm voting you out. I'm voting you out, Alex.
What?
You said call people out, so I'm calling you out. I'm voting you out.
Oh, wow, I can't believe I got a promotion.
Jay, you're the host now, yes.
I think the needs a redo.
Shout out to GM, whose charity I missed, and shout out to Grace because she told me to.
All right. Okay. First, I want to shout out Rob, before you know. Yoshi, the owl, you are amazing. Love you, bro.
Yeah.
I have one word for you and one word for you only. Whew. Okay. As far as Julian W, love you, bro. Wish we could have made it to the end. Shit happened. Ben, you're a motherfucking snakefish. And
Alex, why did you show him that?
I don't know. I was bored.
And last but not least, Julian you.
Also, make sure that you guys go vote in the fan fave poll. That is one of the 20 awards.
I am not finished.
I don't care.
I'm about to tear Julian's ass up. Okay. You're arrogant.
Oh,
you have cheekbones like a monkey. Your ears poke out 10 miles wide.
You can't talk.
Alex PMs.
Please do not hurt yourself too bad, but hurt yourself enough where you are in pain.
I love that so.
Please stop. I've got to tear Julian's ass up. Just wait. Just hold on. You're cute. I'll give you that. That's the only thing you got going for you in your whole life. I hope you fail. Like, I hope everything you do in life flunk. Like, I hope you actually have an okay life and have a house, but I hope it's a trailer park. I hope you live.
I am flapping, Joey. I'm with you, James.
Also, just for note, people asking me when season 8 is going to be, I have postponed it until July. I said this in the last video. I'm saying it now. Personal issues have come up to where I need it to be postponed until July.
So apply for Trinity instead. We're taking apps right now.
Yeah, actually do apply for Trinity. It's my favorite org series that I've played.
Okay. Shout out to James R. Shout out to James D. I haven't shout out either of you yet. So.
I'm just gonna cover the field. Shout out to James R. and everyone he had a final 2 with. So that's like everyone.
Even people who weren't even on the season, he had a final 2 to deal with.
I had a final 2 with Jesus.
Me too. Me too.
Jesus didn't have a final 2 with you.
I love how people in the fan fave poll who were on the season are voting for other contestants. You are allowed to vote for yourself or other contestants if you want.
Vote for
I posted it in.
Vote for Burks.
Vote for Burks.
Yeah, Burks is one of Grace voted for Burks. Seems like
Can I
Burks
get
is
my shout outs
actually.
real quick?
I don't know. Glow's not here to interrupt you, so I'm going to.
Shout out.
I'm
Finally,
kidding. Go ahead, Jason.
Okay. Shout out to Thick Becky for holding it down with the thick ass. Shout out to Winnie. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Glenn. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Grace. And shout out to Michael. And who else? Oh, God and Jesus for holding it down. How y'all doing up there? And and good luck to the final two because y'all amazing and I love y'all so much. And yeah, so there you go.
I want to give a shout out real quick. Shout out to my cousin Modest and shout out to my best friend AJ. Love you guys. I'm done.
Shout out to Burks and Grace. Shout out to y'all. That's pretty much it. Shout out to all of y'all. My last episode of YouTube Survivor ever. Wow. But yeah.
Whoa.
It's my last episode until I come back for Blood versus Water with my ex-wife as a twist.
Yeah.
Good
Yes, we
idea.
love a good scandal.
I mean, she has a 10 gauge, so it's plausible.
You don't have to have a thing gauge, but pop off.
I mean, my ex-wife, I met her in a Furkies.
I've talked to her once, I think.
I low-key downed the entire rest of my bottle of vodka before coming back here.
That's good.
Do you actually have an ex-wife?
Yeah, legally, I'm actually still married. We haven't lived together for years, and we're in the divorce process. But yeah, legally, I'm technically still
You
married.
didn't know that?
Yeah, he got married to a 10 gauger.
That was like
Yeah.
7 days ago.
I met her in a Furkies. I moved halfway across the country. I got married.
This is how y'all should know I didn't have any fucking pre-mates. I don't know any of the 10 gauge drama. I don't know any of that.
I mean, that's just kind of common knowledge. Then again, I've
I
been
don't
here
know.
for 5 years.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not realize you were that old. I thought you were like 23.
I'm actually 24. You're close.
Okay. You got early fast. Damn. You were like,
Yeah,
graduation, marriage, kids.
pretty much.
Hey, just think about it. If you would have had a kid, it would have looked like Glenn.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
No, don't even.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
at least it's not. At least it doesn't look like Julian.
alright. For the last time, I have the votes.
I use my idol.
If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I use my idol.
Joey, your idol's ineffective. Alright, kidding.
I still have my idol though.
Yes, I would like to use my idol nullifier against Joey.
From speaking. And yes, Jay, that idol counts. No, but anyways, remember, 1 vote from Julie and you will be stripped. So here we go with the votes. First vote. This is a doozy, okay? Alright, it says you are a motherfucking... I can't even read this. You're a motherfucking dick-licking, saggy tit, bad hair, dude, don't know when to shut up, ugly ass, no brain, think he's actually cute when he's not, dumbass, don't know anything about jury management, stupid bitch of a boy, snakefish motherfucker. Rob. Second vote. Julian, you.
Does not count.
Nullified.
I was low-key hoping for a vote of 13 to -1.
Third vote. Rob.
Ooh.
Fourth vote. Julian, you.
2 votes, Rob. 1 vote, Julian. You. Let's go.
Thank you for doing my job. All right. Fifth vote. Julian Yu. That's 2 votes Rob, 2 votes Julian Yu, 8 votes left.
Rob, you got this.
6th vote. Rob. 7th vote. Julian Yu. 3 votes Rob, 3 votes Julian Yu, 6 votes left. Next vote. Rob. 4 votes Rob, 3 votes Julian Yu, 5 votes left. Next vote. Rob. 5 votes Rob, 3 votes Julian Yu, 4 votes left.
Disgusting.
Next vote.
Yes, you are.
Rob. It's 6 votes Rob, 3 votes Julian Yu.
Gonna vomit.
Alex doesn't lie like you. He's not lying about the vote.
3 votes left. Next vote. And the winner of YouTube Survivor Season 7 All-Stars. Congratulations, Rob. You have won.
Boo!
Thank you.
Your $1 million will be mailed to Idaho.
Yes. Beers for everyone. Come down.
Hey.
I'm
All
starting
right.
my drive to fight your ass.
So, any congratulatory words, Rob, before we get into these?
I do. I
Words.
want to say thank you for everybody who played, whether you voted for me or not. Like, it's crazy how much we all invest our time into a game like this. Some more than others, but it's crazy. You wouldn't think you would get close to people on an online reality game, but here we are, freaking doing it. And who the fuck is this? Anyways, Alex, you're a great fucking host. I love you. Some bitch was honking at me. I don't know who it was. I'm fucking scared. She's pulling over. I'm scared right now. Love you guys. It's been a great season. I'm so happy to be the winner. Thank you guys so much.
And might I say, well deserved. I just want to say this was a great season, and thank you all for being a part of it. Again, none of this would have been able to have been done without you guys. So, how about some awards?
Yeah.
Then we'll get into some talk about the season, what my personal thoughts and everything, where I rank the season, and the power rankings. That's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a lot of thinking from me for who I move them up to. You're the only third timer to make merge 3 times. So.
I mean,
Yeah. All right. So the first award is the most robbed award, and for this, you're funny. All right. So for this award, I went way back to the beginning of the game, and might I say, I won the draft. Thank you. You can applaud.
You won a draft.
Yeah.
That's
I picked Rob. I did that. That was me.
Wait, who picked me?
I did.
You did? Yeah, good choice, man.
I think
good chance at winning once the move.
I had back-to-back picks in the 3rd and 4th round, and I remember I picked you then with someone else. I don't remember who it was. All I remember is I was the first pick.
Bad choice.
Bad
choice. Terrible choice.
Anyways, so the most robbed award. The nominees are Jake, Elise, and Osri. And the winner is Elise. Everyone loves Elise.
Yes.
Queen.
My only good draft pick.
Hey, you had Denny, and didn't you have Joey too?
I picked everyone I didn't like because normally they all stay in the game, but no, the one time I cast decide to get rid of the people. I'm over it. Whatever.
All right. Next move. Dumbest move of the season.
Yay!
The nominees are. And actually, I'm going to change this. 1, one nominee. All right, so the
God.
first nominee, Joey calling out Grace for no reason. The second nominee, Yoshi not turning on Rob and Julian at the Final Four. And the final nominee, Julian used jury management.
Jury management.
And the winner is Yoshi not going to the fire making at Final Four. Had Yoshi had done that and won and took the risk at least, Yoshi in the final two, it would depend who he was up against. If he was up against Rob, it would have been hella close. But if he was up against Julian you were winning 10-3 or something like that. Yoshi, you were one of the most loved people on this season.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Who?
Wow!
All right.
I'll always remember you as the owl.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You'll be the owl of my clock.
Aw.
So the next up is the biggest flop. The nominees are Blake, Lee, and Tyler. And the winner is Lee Crimson, who is the one reason that Jay decided not to participate in the season. So good job.
No, you were the other reason. Because I knew you. I was like, oh, do I want to be a part of an all-star season that Alex is hosting? Man.
Might have been a good choice. All right. The next award, the best move of the season.
Me calling out Grace.
The nominees: Vlad's blindside, Michael's blindside, and Dalton's blindside. And the winner is
Owen's blindside was Rob.
Dalton's blindside.
What?
It propelled Julian, you, and Rob further in the game. And I totally agree with what Julian Yu was saying during the on-call jury questioning section about when Dalton was asking, why'd you vote me? Why'd you vote me? And you were saying, I knew that you and James R. were a pair, which they were. They were probably the closest pair in the game, even closer than you two. And you had to cut them first. Because if you hadn't have done it then, you might not have had a chance to do it. I completely agree with that. And I think that it's definitely not the only reason you're sitting there, but it's might be the biggest reason that you're sitting
I
there.
thought it was Alan, to be honest. Like, Dalton did not threaten me at all. I just wanted him gone. Like, he wasn't even like a threat in my mind.
All right. So, next up is the most infamous moment. We've had a lot of these here. So, the nominees are Glow calling Yoshi a lowlife, the wall sitting challenge, and Julian Yu calling Keaton a school shooter. And the winner is Julian Yu calling Keaton a school shooter. Don't condone the comments, but they were said, and
Oh
I
my
got
God!
a lot of comments about it. So, good job, Julian.
Thank
All right.
you.
Next up, the Try Hard Award. The nominees, these are people who didn't do so hot, but they tried their hardest until their demise. The nominees are Mark, Denny, and Joey. And the winner is Joey.
Hey!
Tries to
Try hard.
that he does in life.
And he was Rob.
It's the reason why he can't get anything done.
I'm just saying, I was right with everything I did, besides one singular comment.
Shut up. All right, next up,
Love you, Grace.
best blind side.
Me.
The nominees are, you are on a blind side. The nominees are Michael, Vlad, and Glenn. And the winner is Glenn. The reason that this one would be the winning one is because he left with an idol and did not know that he was receiving votes, unlike Joey's situation. who knew he was receiving votes but didn't think he was receiving the majority. Glenn was
Fuck
completely
you, Glenn.
one-sided, and Yoshi's reaction was funny.
A mess.
Y'all left me out again.
Alan's blind side was robbed again.
Yeah. All right. Remember, I just came up with these like 30 minutes to an hour ago. So I forgot a lot of stuff. Next up, best alliance. So the alliances that we have are next up we have the Anti-Flops Alliance, which consisted of Joey, Michael, Julian W, Ben.
Ironic name.
The next up, we have the Fidget Spinner Alliance, which was the comeback season 1 with Julian W, Tim, Anastasia. Wasn't there one more in that? Or was
No.
No, okay. I didn't think so. All right, and then the final nominee is the Tampon Alliance, which
Yes.
Julian, Yoshi, and Rob. And the winner, very obviously, is the Tampon Alliance. They controlled the season as soon as the merge hit. Just, I've never seen an alliance steamroll like they did. All right, next up, Best Trio. The nominees are... I really stretched on this one, okay? The nominees are Burks, Vlad, and Yoshi.
The owl.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I said Burks, Vlad, and Glow. I don't know. Y'all were aligned at one point on. Let's try. The other two are actually trios. The next one is Ben, Tim, and Alan, none of which are here. And the final one is Yoshi, Rob, and Julian Yu. And the winner, once again, is very obviously Yoshi, Rob, and Julian Yu. So next up, we have the Best Duo.
Obvious.
The nominees are James R. and Dalton, Ben and the Door, because that's where he went, and Julian Yu and Rob.
And very obviously again.
And the winner is Julian Yu and Rob. They took control of the situation. They had been aligned forever. It was fairly obvious. All right, next up we have the Best Fight of the season.
Oh, God.
Glow and Yoshi, please.
The nominees are Mark versus Denny, Julian Yu versus Keaton, and Glow versus Yoshi, Part 2. And the winner is Glow versus Yoshi, Part 2.
Oh, God.
I always love having Glow and Yoshi on the same season because something always happens. Anytime I'm casting Yoshi, I'm casting Glow and vice versa.
A mess.
All right. Next up, we have Hero of the Season. Here are some of the more important awards. The nominees are Grace, Anastasia, and Julian W.
What?
And the winner is Julian W.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I gotta get off the screen.
I felt as though Julian W. Was kind of like seen as this gigantic threat throughout the entire game, was constantly targeted. He didn't really have much of a strong alliance to support him. He was able to wiggle his way around votes, but I feel like he would be the hero of the season if this was an edited version. So yeah.
Wait, before we move on, can I just say that, Julian, you were complaining about your tribe the entire pre-swap period. But literally on both other tribes, people were sending confessionals about sending you home, while no one in your current tribe would.
Trust me, I was aware. I was made very explicitly aware of the fact that people want to be gone early on, which is a big reason I didn't want to go to tribals.
Yeah, but everyone who wanted you gone was on the other tribes, yet you kept complaining about the current tribe you were on.
I was gonna work with him.
Okay, let's get
He's a
to.
freaking hero, damn it. Move on.
I was gonna work with Julian W, but he started doing shady shit. So how is he?
You do shady shit. You
No,
got.
I told Julian W, I was like, let's do a Julian alliance.
Your eyes have shade under them.
Listen, Julian W, if you remember, I asked for a Julian's alliance, and the next thing I know, he's targeting me. So
bullshit.
Okay, honestly, I wasn't even the one that made you a target. That was Tim.
Oh, well.
I kept trying to target Alan, and Tim was like, "No, we need to target Julian. You."
All right, so there's about 15 different people I could have put for this next award, but I had to narrow it down to 3. Mainly, I had 4, but I had to narrow it down to 3, and that would be Villain of the Season. And the nominees are Rob, Yoshi, and Julian Yu. And the winner is, by far, we already knew this, Julian Yu. Gotten
Julian,
fights
motherfucking you, bitch.
Almost every single Tribal Council pre-merge, it was a fight, breaking out between Julian Yu and somebody. Said a lot of comments about a lot of people. Yeah, I think it's fairly obvious, and played the game like a true villain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which is not really a bad thing. All right, so funniest moment. The nominees are Denny versus Mark, Glow cutting off Yoshi every single tribal council that they attended, and Glow versus Yoshi Part 2. And the winner is Glow versus Yoshi Part 2.
Oh my god.
You had me dying.
So annoying.
I was with Alex for that. You truly had him dying. I'm glad he wasn't driving at that time. He would have wrecked.
Truth.
Okay.
You almost did. All right. So next up, we have Best Pre-Juror. This is made up because I don't remember the pre-jury much. So the nominees are
anyone on Bliss.
All 3 of these people were on Bliss at one point. All right, so the nominees are Grace, Burks, and Denny. And the winner is Denny. Why? Because he's Denny. All right. So
I'm just saying, why is the last nominee always the one that gets it? Why don't you mix them up?
I've been mixing them up because I have them written down as everything that's first wins. So I've been trying to mix them up. All right. Now we get to the big awards. These are like the biggest 4 awards. Well, there's 5 actually.
I got
one's fan favorite.
Julian. Ben.
All right. Best physical game. The nominees are not Yoshi, but they are James R., Julian Yu, and Rob. James R. did not win a challenge. However, he came in within like 2nd to 5th in every single challenge within that. And with 15 people on a tribe, 5th is pretty good. But the winner is Julian Yu. I don't. Was it 4 or 5 immunity wins?
5, baby, 5. Also,
5.
I didn't throw that one that was supposed to go to Yoshi. Just letting that out there. I had to win it because I didn't want to use my idol.
I'm so
I
mad.
had to tell you different numbers so I could win that double immunity. Because I'm trying to say my idol.
I just wanted one. I just wanted one win. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the next award is the best social game. The nominees are Yoshi, Rob, and James R. These 3 people played some of the best social games that I've seen in a while. In fact, once Merge hit, I actually predicted this final three because all of them had such strong social games. And Julian Yu, I thought, was too big of a name and a target at the moment to actually make it to the final three. So I figured James R would somehow find a way to slither in. So, I mean, I was 2/3 right, which I find to be pretty impressive. But the winner for this, and this is because it was close between Rob and Yoshi. Sorry, James already didn't win, but it was close between Rob and Yoshi because they played very similarly, and a lot of people really liked both of them. I heard everyone's like top allies were either Rob or Yoshi. However, at the end of the day, I believe that the award should go to Rob. I think Rob made the most connections with the most people. I can't name one person that he made mad. Even Yoshi made Glow mad. I mean, Anastasia was mad for like a little bit, but I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think he's actually mad at you specifically. So that's why I decided to give the award to Rob. Next up, Best Strategic Game. The nominees are Julian W., James R., and Julian Yu. And the winner of the award is Julian Yu. I believe Julian Yu knew the right moves to make at the right times and executed them almost perfectly, or executed them maybe not in the best way that he could have, but he at least executed the moves that he needed to make to advance him further into the game, which is a very important factor. And is why I consider this final three to be the best final three I've seen in any Survivor ever, because I believe that each individually did so well this season. Which is why the nominees for Player of the Season are Rob, Yoshi, and Julian Yu. Honestly, I think this award could go to all three. And it was very, very tough to narrow it down to one specific person. However, in my opinion, I believe that the award should go to Yoshi. And that's who I gave it to. I think Yoshi had the perfect mix of everything, where Rob excelled in the social. Yoshi was right behind. Same with the strategic. Julian Yu excelled in it. Yoshi was still right behind. He made moves he had to make to get him further into the game. The only big mistake was not trying to work with